We are diving into Serve with Love on this 12-hour marathon, number 117. Before we do that, though, I'm talking to you because you are becoming your greatest possible self. Thank you for being here, for tuning in, and choosing to be your GPS. We're going to be talking about breaking through selfishness, lack, and shame so you can serve with love. So definitely stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Don't turn the episode. Don't turn this off. Stay tuned. Stay connected. Tuned in, tapped in, turned on. I'm talking to you because you're becoming your greatest possible self. So keep going on the journey. Stay subscribed to the podcast so you can keep daily discipline, the compound effect, the slight edge, the compound effect, Darren Hardy, slight edge, Jeff Olson. Is it Jeff Olson? I think that's what it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. Shoot me a comment. Take a screenshot and say, no, I think it's Jeff Olson, slight edge. Whatever the author is. I know he's Darren Hardy's mentor. I got introduced to the compound effect earlier in my journey, so I resonate with compound effect more. And you're resonating with becoming your greatest possible self. So stay tuned. If there's anything I can do to support you, let me know. Whether it's coaching, launching your podcast, coming on the 12-hour marathon as a guest, however I can support, let's discover and explore. Thanks for being here. Next up is going to be the iTunes review of the week. This week it's by Logix. Logix says, such passion and high energy. Chris provides such enthusiasm in all he does because it's who he is. His podcast is a great resource with fabulous guests, and I'm excited to have found this platform to learn as much as possible to expand my life on so many levels. Thanks, Chris. Thank you, Logix. I super appreciate you, and thank you for that review. And if you're out there listening right now, you want to get a chance to get shouted out on a future 12-hour live stream, you want to have the ability to shape the destiny of this podcast. You know you're important. You know your voice matters. You know you are in this for the growth. And you also want to get acknowledged and celebrated and appreciated. Go to beyourgps.com/iTunes or search Greatest Possible Self on the Apple Podcast Store. Give us a review. Let us know what you want to see more of, how we can make the show even better for you. Okay? Thank you so much in advance for doing that. Thank you for being here. And I appreciate you. I love you. Let's keep growing together. Before we dive into this interview, I just want to say, deep breath. Let's say deep breath. One more. Another one. You know, before we dive into this theme today, Serve with Love, I've been on this marathon, and something that's been coming up for me a lot recently is the topic of energy and how important energy is, to bring your energy. And I have a men's mastermind group that I just so appreciate and love, and how much we're able to support each other and help each other grow. And one of the things that we recently talked about is the power of rituals, needing to have rituals. Like it's essential, requiring rituals to level up our performance, to level up our presence, to level up our beingness in every single moment. And so something that I've taken kind of for granted is my own energy. I haven't studied it enough. I haven't really applied and mastered this gift. And I think a lot of it has come naturally for me, just because my last name is Burns. And a lot of it is unconscious, me showing up with great energy, me being curious, me being playful, tapped into my boyish energy, little kid energy that just wants to learn and grow and have fun and play and love. And there's also an intensity, an intentionality, a focus. And sometimes I take for granted all the freaking work that I've done, all the baggage that I've had to break through. We're going to be talking about breaking through some serious baggage in this conversation, and blocks and lower vibrational energies and stuck stuff. And we're going to be diving into that. It's going to be a great, great conversation. But I just want to get your feedback. And just, I didn't plan about talking about this, but I would love to know, would that be valuable for you to get to know more about how I got to this way? Would it be valuable for you to raise your energy, to raise your vibration, to show up just ready for a battle, ready for life, ready for anything that comes your way, ready to dive in, ready to ignite, and igniting, and showing up and serving and loving and having more than enough energy and not feeling burnt out? Would that be valuable for you? I just want to check in. I think a lot of the guests who come on the marathon, they would benefit from having some kind of priming training, some kind of energy expansion, energy activation training before they step onto a podcast, before they step onto stage, before they step onto sales calls, and to be able to activate themselves before they do that, I kind of just jump in. Naturally, I have a gift with that. And I also think if I am talented with something, right, it's great. But if I'm not actively developing it and choosing to master it, choosing to practice it, if energy is one of my greatest things, am I taking it for granted by not having specific energy practices, things that I know I get to be doing to maximize every conversation, every sales conversation, serving conversation, every podcast interview I get on, every 12-hour marathon I host? And so I just want to see if that's valuable for you and check in. Let me know. Take a screenshot, send a message at I am Millionaire Chris on Instagram, send a message on Facebook, facebook.com/th3burns, or be your GPS, facebook.com/be your GPS. Let's slow down. Great coach of mine, Andrew Hall, epic human being. If y'all don't know him, get to know him. He says, and I'm sure a lot of people say this, but slow down to speed up, right? Slow down, get present with your energy, get present with who you're being, how you're showing up, so that you can speed up. Take the time to create an energy ritual so that you can supercharge yourself, slow down, stop going from appointment to appointment to appointment so that you can speed up and jump into the flow, okay? Serve with love. Let's dive into the topic of today. And thank you in advance for any encouragement, feedback, anything like that you can give around the energy conversation. Serve with love. Let's talk about what that means to me. Why did I create this conversation? Well, for me, it's been a big shift to go from serving and putting the focus on me and my needs and my expectations, really to get. It's been a journey, and I'm the first one to admit I'm totally not perfect, and there's been some resistance and things that I tried to hide about me, about wanting to be successful, about wanting to earn a great living, about wanting to get lots of freaking money, to get paid what I'm worth. I've invested tens of thousands of dollars, around $30,000 in my personal development education, okay? Coaching, programs, retreats, seminars, oh my freaking gosh. Like months and months of being in seminar rooms, of trainings, of just growing myself, right? Like literally months. I calculated all the time. It would be months and months of just learning and growing, not counting journaling, not counting reading, podcasting, doing the work on my own outside of the seminar room. And I'm grateful for that investment in myself. And over the years, I think I kind of got scared, especially around 4 years ago. I got scared that I would let people down. I got scared. I started operating out of fear. What happens if they find out who I actually am, quote unquote? What happens if they see that I'm not actually worth what I'm charging? The imposter syndrome, the feeling that I shouldn't be allowed to be so successful, to make so much money, to have it be easy. Okay? And so serve with love really came up as a conversation for me because I'm really focusing on how do I serve in this conversation? How do I really make a difference? How do I have this person walk away improved, better off because of this conversation? And not only serving them, also serving me. Serving me too. I get to be fulfilled. I get to provide for my family, for my basic needs. Like, I had some challenges around owning my value, owning my worth, charging what I was worth. It's talking about breaking through selfishness, lack, and shame. My goodness gracious, it is so selfish. I recognize my selfishness being a coward in conversations. Being a coward, not asking, not declaring, this is what I'm worth. This is what I get paid. How selfish is it to be a coward? Selfish for my family to not be able to contribute at the level that I know I'm desiring, I'm capable of, I'm meant to. Having lots of stress and struggle in our family and our lifestyle because of my unwillingness to be bold, to face rejection, to be criticized, to have people say, screw you, and be okay with it. To ask for my value. I was being so selfish that I would rather stay comfortable. I would rather this other person stay comfortable instead of being confronted by the exchange of money. Brandon Hawk, amazing, amazing coach. We had a really powerful conversation a few weeks ago, and he shared, Chris, when you talk about money, you become alive, and the people around you become alive. Things ignite, like possibilities come into existence. You are activated. People are activated. When there's resistance, when there's stuff that comes up around money, that is dormant, stuck, stopped, blocked energy that is in someone's subconscious mind or stored somewhere in their body, and it gets activated. And you, Chris, are a healer. And he didn't say all this stuff, but I'm, paraphrasing. You, Chris, are a healer. And you're here to heal people through those blocks, to heal people around money, and to have money be a central conversation in all that you do. Now, he didn't call me a coward, but I saw myself as a coward. I saw myself as not being someone who owned my values so that I could really serve and give the best to the people who I work with. The guests on this marathon, I love every single one of them. And in guests in the past, sometimes I would just say, hey, you can come on and it's no big deal. Love to have you on, help you get your message out. And I wasn't owning the value of what I have to provide with this marathon. The time and the energy that we invest into the guests, into the content, into creating and repurposing and all these kinds of things. There is so much freaking work. And my expertise, my willingness to do 650 plus guests on this 12-hour live stream and interview so many people and develop my skills and abilities and highlight and present people in the best light, that is worth huge value. And so for me to just really step back and say, hey, how am I being selfish? How am I coming from a place of lack, like I'm unworthy, I'm not enough? How am I coming from a place of shame? Like, I don't deserve to be charging this. These are the thoughts that were going through my head. That was the story that was playing out. Guess who determines your value? You do. You freaking do. You're the only person who can say what you're worth. You can compare to the marketplace. You can do all these different things. But I think that the unreasonable people who say, I'm going to create this, I'm going to design this lifestyle, I'm going to charge this amount, $10,000 a year, $20,000, $30,000, $50,000. Some coaches charge like $100 freaking grand, $150 grand a year, $10,000 a month. That's epic. That is epic. And I'm not there yet, but I strive to be at that level of valuing myself and producing that level of results in people's lives. That being said, I know I deliver massive freaking results and value. So I get to break through my own shame and unworthiness so I can have people be invested in their own growth and have an amazing experience. So I can show up and be overflowing. So I can show up and be fulfilled. So I can show up and know that my bills are paid. Know that I have more than enough to take care of my family. Know that I'm being a great entrepreneur. I'm being a great business owner. I'm being a great salesperson. I am in integrity with my gifts, charging what I'm worth. And this is still a fairly recent conversation. So I want you to know, whatever you're going through, if you're feeling lack, limitation, whether it's in business and finances, whether it's in your spirituality, whether it's in your relationships, staying stuck in that old story is truly being selfish. You could be, let's talk about relationships, you could be out there having amazing experiences, growing together with someone, contributing to someone on their journey by being a significant other, by being in a committed relationship, by being a empowered lover. But because you're so concerned about messing up or your past mistakes or not being enough, you're staying small. And also when you have a relationship, we were talking about like financial well-being and security, which has been one of my biggest challenges and growth opportunities in becoming my greatest possible self. And if someone is not having a great relational experience, they could also feel like they're not worthy, not really experiencing the fulfillment and the magic of life. And then that affects every area. If you have one area that's out of integrity, that's out of alignment, that's sucking, it's going to affect every area of life. And I think really serving with love, you can serve in every area of life. You can serve in your fitness, right? Show up and serve in your well-being, because when you are, let's say, consuming low vibrational foods that aren't good for you and don't produce great energy for you, you're being selfish. If you are being selfish in your, let's say, spirituality and not giving reverence and honor to something greater than you, some greater force of love, some greater connection between all of us, if you're not taking the time to honor that, you're being selfish. If you're not showing up with the confidence of your products and services, if you're not declaring your value and owning that, you're being selfish, because you're not able to provide for yourself and your family, and then that runs over into your clients and their experiences with you. In your relationships, if you're hiding and playing small, you could be really bringing light to someone else's life. That being said, we're not getting into codependence here, but the journey that two people can have in a committed partnership and relationship, it's just freaking magical. So how do you actually break through this stuff? Well, I'm going to share what's really worked for me has been having conversations with people who get me, who I can share and be my totally vulnerable, authentic self, coaches who I'm not trying to impress. I'm not trying to have ego around. I'm just saying, hey, here's what I'm really freaking going through, guy. It sucks. Here's the pain. And so that they can really make a contribution to me. So that's number one, is I've really consistently been open to coaching. I may not have always believed that I was worthy and effective enough, and it wasn't enough to implement and apply, and would this actually work for me? Would it stick? Those kinds of conversations went through my head, but I was at least open to have the conversation and share how stuck I was feeling. So that's huge, huge. If you want to break through, stop being so selfish in keeping it all to yourself, right? Selfishness, lack, and shame kind of go all together. I was hiding out in my room for years, playing it safe in my room, isolating myself, keeping myself away from others, because I thought I had to work on myself more. I thought I wasn't there yet. I thought all these conversations about I don't deserve it yet. Not enough, not worthy. Okay? Take a deep breath in and exhale. Take another deep breath in and exhale. Take one more deep breath in and exhale. Great job. Selfishness, lack, and shame. What else has been working for me to break through? Number one, being open and sharing what's going on. Number two, admitting to myself, I think, was a big part that I was being a coward, that I was playing small. I'm super Pollyanna about a lot of stuff, being, positive, wishing for the best, hoping for the best, focusing on the best inside of everyone. And that is a massive freaking strength. What's possible? Strength, strength, strength. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's also a double-edged sword. If I'm not willing to admit where I am to myself, that causes suffering and pain. So being willing to call myself out on my own stuff with love, but just because it's with love doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt. Oh, that ish stings. It hurts. It's like digging the knife in the wound. But that's what's required sometimes to get to where we want to go. To I think Lisa in the last interview was talking about being desperate enough to change something. Like I was so desperate to change something that's what has caused a lot of my breakthroughs. When I hit rock bottom at 21 years old, I was so desperate to change my life, change my lifestyle, change who I had wound up being, feeling like I'm a disappointment, breaking people's hearts around me, just lost. I was so done with that. So that caused me to make a new decision. So I projected, I generated myself, I changed the trajectory, launched into a whole new direction because I was so disappointed, because I was so dissatisfied. It's like, no, this is not who I am. And so everything changed in that moment. I have one of my clients. He was thinking about doing a podcast for I think over a year. He had his microphone and was like thinking about it, but just hadn't pulled the trigger on it. And it took us having a conversation saying, hey, like, what's going to happen if you keep waiting on this dream? If you keep not taking action, what's going to happen? Why did you even want to do this in the first place? And so we really got to the drivers of him, his why, to leave his 9-to-5 job, to be able to provide for his family, to have freedom, to have time, money, freedom. It really drove him. And so he had to get uncomfortable with how he wound up being, kind of just getting by, instead of owning his power, owning his responsibility that, hey, if I don't like my situation, I'm going to get out of it. I'm going to build my way out of it. I'm going to break through this so I can live and be my greatest possible self. Okay? And so I really want you to own your responsibility of breaking through on your journey. Because yes, you have the ability within you, and are you owning it? Are you getting the help that you need? Are you saying, hey, Chris, hey, Lisa, Gornell, Santiago, Pradeep, Paula, Ryan, Tony, Samantha, anyone who's on this 12-hour marathon today, are you really raising your hand and saying, I want to break through this. I'm committed. I'll do whatever it takes. I will not stop until. Because it's that kind of determination that has you break through whatever kind of resistance or blocks or anything like that you're facing. Any selfishness, lack, and shame. You deserve to serve with love. You deserve to give your greatest gifts. Okay, so number one was really you being open with the people who can contribute to you and allowing them to make that difference for you. And to really break through this stuff, it's to stay consistent with whatever it is that is your practice, your discipline. So the third thing that I really want to talk about is investing in yourself, the willingness to invest, the willingness to put your money where your mouth is, your time, your energy, and what you believe is important to you. That client that I mentioned, he had to invest in himself so that he would get started. I just had another client sign up recently. He had to invest in himself so that he would pull the trigger and get started. He wanted the support, wanted someone to kick his butt and hold his feet to the fire. And so I'm grateful that I can be that for people and empower them to believe and know that they are ready to launch, ready to go. So investing in yourself. That was a big breakthrough for me. Is I invested, these tens of thousands of dollars into my personal development and growth and education. And for a while, I felt like I burned myself. For a while, I got into so much debt that I said, man, did I just totally screw my life up? Was I missing something? Did I do it wrong? Did I let myself down? Did I let the people around me down? Was that really the right move? And I doubted myself, and I had tons of shame and guilt and stuff energetically come up that I had to work through. And what a blessing, the amount of energetic blocks that I had. And I'm still working on them, I'm still growing through them. And I would say I'm on the other side. I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm seeing some huge, huge shifts and momentum shifts in my life. That is nuts. It's really, I'm super blessed these days of all the progress that I'm making, all the breakthroughs that I'm having. And it's been 7 years since I started my entrepreneurial journey. 7 years since I really started personal development. I met my girlfriend a year and a half ago, right? So before that, I didn't believe I was worthy enough for love. Really breaking through some deep-rooted money issues and challenges, and still breaking through. It's been 7 years since I started, right? All that vibrational momentum that had built up from the time I was like 6 years old, and the evidence and the stories that just piled upon myself. Who am I? I don't deserve. I'm not enough. People don't understand me. I'm not lovable. I'm bad. All the stories that compounded on themselves. Oh my gosh. To work through all that is like hardcore freaking commitment, hardcore dedication, hardcore discipline, hardcore desperation to be done with it. And just day by day working on it. Yes, working on it on my own. Yes, investing money into my growth and personal development. And not too long ago, I had an opportunity to reinvest in myself, even when I didn't know how. Even when I said, nope, I shouldn't be doing this, but you know what? I'm going to do it, and I'm going to figure out how, and it's all going to work out. I'm not necessarily in the place where it makes sense. Most people will probably advise me, don't freaking do it. But because I was willing to do that in myself, invest in myself, I really felt a whole new level of discipline around when I invest in myself. What do I expect to get out of it? Who are the types of people? What are the types of products, services, team members, things that I invest in, and how do they really make a difference for me and for my bottom line, for my happiness and fulfillment? And so this one that I invested in, it was actually a hypnosis session. And I've like just been so hardcore consistent about it, and listening to this and reprogramming myself with this so that I could own my value, own my impact, my greatness. And so it kind of came full circle to the ability to reinvest in myself again after, let's say, years of feeling like, man, like how am I going to recover from these tens of thousands of dollars of investing? Like I was at the time, I would say responsible in that I was willing to do whatever it takes to invest in myself and grow myself. And I was irresponsible in I thought investing was the answer to all my problems, to the feelings of an unworthiness, to the lack of responsibility and taking ownership for my life and getting me to where I needed to go, and owning my value and being enough and claiming that, not waiting for someone else to bestow upon me worthiness, not waiting for someone else to dub me worthy. But I had to claim that. I had to fight for that. Day after day after day after day, it's been such a freaking grueling journey to fight for my own worthiness, to fight to own my own worthiness. Such a challenging journey. And now I really get to relate to people at such a deep level who are going through worthiness challenges, who feel like they're not enough, who are going through financial challenges, debt, different things like that, and how that might be affecting people, not letting it define you. Shame has been huge, huge, huge growth for me. I had so much shame about how I was raised, the type of person that I was being, how dissatisfied, unhappy I was in my life. It was really, really challenging. And thankfully, I had amazing people, mentors, coaches around me who were constantly speaking life into me. That couldn't do anything unless I allowed it in. Part of me wanted to allow it in. Part of me loved the acknowledgement, the validation, the appreciation. I think early on in my journey, I loved being celebrated. In like third grade, I did some plays. I don't even remember what it was like. I think I liked it. I don't remember. And in junior high and high school, I like totally bought into a story that I was unworthy, that I was misunderstood, that I was alone, that I was a nerd, that I was a geek, that I was insignificant and didn't matter. And loser. I think the real conversation was a loser. I was a loser. I felt like a loser in junior high and high school. So that showed up in all kinds of ways. And when I started my network marketing business, loser. Giant freaking loser. Going through different jobs. Giant freaking loser. Having tough conversations and interactions with roommates. Giant freaking loser. That's how I felt. That's the reality I created for myself. And so I'm done. I'm done with that conversation. I just want you to know when you say, "Hey, I'm done with something." I was coaching Tamara earlier today on a coaching call. Super powerful. Having this conversation of who you used to be, what was the impact of that? If that would have kept going, what would that be like? And then making a decision, no longer, and now what's possible, and really what's the impact and what's available for you now. Such a powerful formula to go through. But feeling like a loser really impacted my life. And I know I'm a winner. I create that I'm a winner. Yeah, I even have doubts going through my head right now saying, Chris, you were just talking about loser so much. You're probably programming yourself for a loser. And then you try to say winner, and then you have a Freudian slip that says wimmer. And that's okay. Hey, subconscious mind. Hey, brain tries to keep me safe. I love you. Thank you for attempting to keep me safe. And you know what's safe for me? Winning. You know what's safe for me? Winning. Having more choices. Being able to provide for my family. You know what's safe for me? Being able to handle rejection. People telling me no and saying, thank you for listening. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm sure there's going to be ways where we can continue growing on the journey. If there's anything else I could do for you to support you, let me know. I'm here for you. May not be able to serve you at the level that I wish I could, and I'm here for you. I'm a winner. I am a winner. Are you a winner? If you feel like a loser, you're going to feel selfish, you're going to feel lack, you're going to feel shame. That is a big conversation for me, a big shift. I am a winner. And it's still pretty fresh. It's still owning I am a winner, owning I am a champion, owning I am the king, owning I am a freaking winner. I matter. I make a difference. So I just want to give you some massive love. If you're listening to this conversation, you have that conversation going through your head, that kind of a story. I get it. No matter what you do, no matter how much you work, how hard you work, you feel like a loser. I get it. And I love you. And my heart is here for you. I want you to know you matter. You are enough. And no person, no event, no thing or circumstance can ever take away that you are a winner. Pradeep earlier was talking about how to win and succeed at anything using neuroscience. I love that. You are a winner. I am a winner. We are winners. We are becoming our greatest possible selves. We are winners, and we do not tolerate staying in loser energy. We kick out. We exile. We say no freaking more. No more loser energy. We're done. And you know what? We're going to get knocked off track. We are going to get knocked off the freaking track. But it's a question of how fast do you get back into winner energy. I am a freaking winner. I am a winner. I want you to recognize, I want you to own that to break through selfishness and lack and shame and serve with love, you have to be a winner. You get to be a winner. You get to say, I freaking matter. This service that I deliver matters. I impact people around me. I matter. You know, another really powerful exercise. I mentioned a couple different things there. I know I totally spaced out on what 2 was, but 1 was being open to the coaching. 3 was, I was like thinking about it. What is 2 again? 3 is investing in yourself. And for me, hypnosis and recognizing that I'm worth investing. That was huge. But another really, really powerful exercise is just to write out all the impact that you've had in people's lives. Okay? And I'm going to freaking print this out because I've written it, but I don't have it printed out. In people's lives. What have you contributed to people's lives? Create a list of all the powerful times you've served people. Create a list of all the achievements, all your personal achievements, all of your clients' achievements that you were there to facilitate and make happen, encourage, and be there to witness. Your mind will try to steal your victories, will try to steal your accomplishments, your greatness from you. Don't allow that BS to happen. Create a list, review it every single day, get fired the F up about what you do, what you accomplish. I am so fired up right now. This is good. List of accomplishments. So good. So good. Loving it. Lisa, help them to publish. Thanks, Janet. Yes, love it. Angie, what's up? Kristen, what is up? Super freaking stars. Let's go. Let's go. What y'all doing? How y'all becoming your greatest possible selves? I love it. Fired up. So I want to be finishing this conversation in probably like the next 10, 15 minutes. But I want to remind you that you are a winner. And I asked earlier about something to help people raise their energy. I think it's more than energy. It's more than just energy. It's like being victorious. I think Lisa's conversation of going from victim to victorious is huge. Huge theme in my life. Being the hero that I've been waiting for to come save me. Right? So I'm really going to get clear on the biggest challenges of the people around me. Like, what do people really need? I think a thing that I've attempted to do before, it's kind of selfish, is pretend like I know what people need instead of just asking, hey, what the heck do you need? What's the biggest challenge? And so now in our debriefing calls, we do debriefings with all our guests. I'm asking, what more value could we have added that would have just taken your experience on the marathon to the next level? What could we have done differently? What's important to you? What was there that you really loved and you want us to keep doing? And what could be improved? What do you want to see more of? What would really take it to that next level? If this was great, what would take it to epic? What would take it to extraordinary? What a powerful conversation. What a powerful question to ask your clients. And it might seem scary. And I also think it's one of the most powerful things that you can do. Okay? So get out of your own way. Get out of feeling like you have to have it all together. You have to have all the answers, and ask. They're a great way to break through selfishness, lack, and shame. We talked about the list, making a list of all your accomplishments, everything that you've contributed to your clients. It's massive. And ask, 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 ask. For me, it was to stop being a coward and ask for what I was worth. So I could provide for myself, for my family, for my dreams, for my team, for my business partner, for our organization. My goodness. So many people depending on me owning my value. And I hid from that. I ran from that. But then I got to a point where I'm like, I am done. I'm done playing small. I'm done being selfish. I'm going to show up empowered, alive, ignited. Serving with massive freaking love. I love you. Thank you so much for joining us on this portion of the 12-hour marathon. I love contributing to you. I love being here with you. We got Tony Watley coming on here in just a bit. Become a side hustle millionaire. Dude is a freaking legend. Interviewing some epic human beings. I just saw a picture of him with Cole Hatter earlier today. I think he was interviewing him. Great job, Tony. We're going to bring him on in just a few minutes, but I just want you to know you matter, you're worth it, you are becoming your greatest possible self, and you get to really serve with love. Okay? Serve with love. Take the focus off yourself. Be open to sharing what's really going on, especially to coaches, mentors, people who can really pour into you and help you get to where you want to go. Invest in yourself. Make a list of your accomplishments, what you've done, what you've achieved that you're proud of. And get present to that on a daily basis. Get present to your power. Get present to your value. You deserve it. And if there's anything I could do to support you in making a bigger impact and becoming your greatest possible self, would love to explore that. Keep shining your light. Sending so much love.